The stolen dropship weaved through space, evading energy blasts from the celestial hunter inside. Olivia pushed the alien controls beyond what they were designed to handle, while Susan worked to understand the weapon systems. "I think I found something useful," Susan called out, pointing to a glowing section of the control panel. "These might be targeting systems." Olivia glanced over. The symbols were alien, but the layout followed logical patterns similar to human weapon interfaces. She nodded and adjusted, their course bringing them into attack position. "We only get one shot at this," she told Susan. "The mothership has identified us as a threat. Their next volley will probably hit us." Susan activated what she believed to be the targeting computer. The alien interface responded, her intuition proven correct. The dropship weapons systems locked onto a section of the celestial hunter that showed higher energy readings than surrounding areas. "Target acquired." Susan confirmed, her voice steady despite the circumstances. "Fire," Olivia ordered. The dropship weapons released a concentrated burst of energy that struck the celestial hunter precisely at the targeted location. The impact caused a cascade of explosions along one section of the massive warship inside. The celestial hunter alarms blared as systems failed. Admiral Nix stumbled as the deck shifted beneath her. "Damage report," she demanded. "They targeted a power distribution node." Vex responded in disbelief. How could they know where to strike? Their scanners should not be capable of such precision. Nix had no answer. The humans were demonstrating capabilities far beyond what reconnaissance had indicated. This was supposed to be an easy conquest. Instead, her warriors were dying, and her ship was damaged. The surface of Earth. Colonel Patricia Foster received communication from the captured dropship. "Colonel, we've scored a hit on the mothership." Olivia's voice came through with static interference, "but we're taking heavy fire." "We can't evade much longer." Patricia activated the base's remaining communication systems, broadcasting on all frequencies. "This is Colonel Patricia Foster of Earth Defense Forces to all human military installations. The alien mothership has been damaged. Coordinate all available firepower. On these coordinates, around the world military forces that had been fighting their own desperate battles against Draknir. Landing parties received the broadcast. Missile silos opened their doors. Fighter jets scrambled with experimental weapons. Orbital defense platforms that had been held in reserve locked onto the coordinates. In the stolen dropship, Olivia saw the incoming barrage from Earth. Her sensors showed hundreds of missiles and energy weapons converging on the damaged section of the celestial hunter. "Susan, they did it," she said with awe in her voice. "They coordinated a global counterattack." Susan smiled grimly. "We should get clear of the blast zone." Olivia nodded and pushed the alien engines to maximum acceleration. The dropship shot away from the celestial hunter just as the first missile struck. The combined firepower of Earth's military targeted the weakness Susan and Olivia had discovered. Inside the celestial hunter, Admiral Nix watched in horror as her ship began to break apart. "Evacuate," she ordered. All warriors returned to evacuation vessels. The mighty Draknir warship that had conquered 17 star systems was coming apart, sections breaking off as explosions chained through its structure. The Draknir evacuation. Vessels launched, escaping the destruction like seeds from a dying plant. On Earth, humans watched as the alien mothership exploded in orbit, the shockwave visible even from the ground. A cheer went up from the defenders at Groom Lake Air Force Base. The impossible had happened. They had repelled an alien invasion force with vastly superior technology. The stolen dropship landed back at the base, its hull scorched from near misses. Olivia and Susan emerged to a hero's welcome. Colonel Patricia Foster waited for them at the bottom of the ramp. "Your actions saved countless lives," the colonel said. "The technology you captured will advance our understanding by decades, but the battle was far from over." The Draknir evacuation vessels were landing, all across the globe, Admiral Nix among them. The invasion had failed, but now Earth faced a new challenge: what to do with the stranded alien forces. 3 days after the destruction of the celestial hunter, representatives from world governments gathered. At a secure facility, the captured Draknir technology was being studied and already providing breakthroughs in multiple scientific fields. But the most valuable asset was Admiral Nix herself, captured during the chaos of evacuation. Olivia was called. to the holding facility where the Admiral was kept. Her expertise with the alien technology made her valuable in the interrogation process. The room was specially designed to contain the Draknir leader with environmental controls adjusted to her physiology. Admiral Nix stood as Olivia entered, her bioluminescent pattern subdued in captivity. Her 4 arms restrained by special manacles, the human who piloted our ship. Nix said, her voice a melodic hiss. "You learned our technology in minutes. What should have taken years of training." Olivia studied the alien leader. "Humans adapt quickly. It's how we've survived on our planet." Nix tilted her elongated head. "The Empire will send another fleet. When they learn of our defeat, they will not underestimate you as I did. They will simply sterilize your planet from orbit." Olivia showed no reaction to the threat. Instead, she placed a datapad on the table between them. The screen showed technical specifications of Draknir ships. "Your evacuation vessels have a design flaw," she said calmly. "The quantum communication array is vulnerable to electromagnetic interference. We can disable it remotely. Your people cannot call for help." Nix's patterns flashed with surprise and anger. "How could you know this? You are primitive. You have barely achieved spaceflight." Olivia smiled. "Human engineering follows logical principles. The same is true for Draknir technology. Once we understand the fundamentals, the applications become clear. Your technology is advanced, but not incomprehensible." For the first time, Admiral Nix felt something she had never experienced in all her years of conquest: fear. Not of death, but of obsolescence. The Draknir Empire had grown powerful by conquering and absorbing the technology of other species, but never had they encountered a species that could adapt so quickly. "What do you want?" Nix asked, her voice softer. Now Olivia leaned forward. "We want to survive. We have no interest in conquest, but we will defend ourselves. You have 2 choices. Admiral, cooperate with us, share your knowledge, and help establish peaceful contact with your empire, or remain our prisoner while we reverse engineer your technology anyway. The outcome is the same. The only variable is whether you benefit from it." Nix considered the human before her. There was no fear in this female, no hesitation. Her species had faced extinction and had not only survived, but turned the situation to their advantage. In all the conquered worlds, the Draknir had never encountered such determination. "Perhaps there is a third option," Nix said after a long silence. "My people value strength and cunning. You have demonstrated both. The Empire expands by conquering lesser species, but yours is not lesser." She paused, her patterns showing complex emotions. "What if instead of conquest we offered alliance?" Olivia had not expected this. She studied the Admiral carefully, searching for deception. "The Draknir respect power." Nix continued. "You destroyed our warship with primitive weapons because you understood our weaknesses faster than we understood yours. That kind of adaptability is valuable. Many within the Empire would see the benefits of alliance with humans, especially the females of your species." Colonel Patricia Foster, who had been observing from behind a one-way mirror, entered the room. She had listened to the entire exchange. "An alliance," Nix repeated, addressing Patricia now. "The Draknir would provide technology and protection. Humans would provide innovation and adaptability. Together, we would be stronger than either alone." Patricia looked at Olivia, who gave a subtle nod. There was logic in the proposal. The Draknir had technology centuries beyond human capabilities. If they could secure that technology without further bloodshed, it would be a diplomatic victory beyond imagination. "But can we trust you?" Patricia asked. Her eyes, fixed on the alien Admiral Nix, patterns shifted to a configuration neither human had seen before. "Trust is earned. I propose a cultural exchange: Draknir scientists and warriors living among humans, human representatives among Draknir. Through understanding comes trust." Olivia recognized the wisdom in this approach. The Draknir had underestimated humans because they didn't understand them. An exchange would prevent future misunderstandings. Patricia considered the proposal carefully. It would need approval from world governments, but the potential benefits were enormous. Earth gaining access to advanced technology and protection from other hostile species that might exist in the galaxy. I will take your proposal to my superiors, Patricia said finally. But understand this. If this is a deception, if your people betray us, the consequences will be severe. We have already proven we can defeat your best warship. We will not hesitate to do so again. Nyx lowered her head in acknowledgement, a gesture of respect among her people. I understand, Colonel. The Draknir admire strength. You have earned our respect as. Patricia left to consult. With government officials, Olivia remained with the Admiral, curious about Draknir technology and culture. What began as an interrogation evolved into a cultural exchange, the human engineer and the alien admiral finding common ground in their shared interest in science and innovation. Neither could have predicted that this conversation would be the foundation of a new era for both species. 5 years passed since the failed Draknir invasion. Earth had changed dramatically. The alliance with the Draknir opened new possibilities for humanity. Technology advanced at an unprecedented rate. Space exploration expanded as humans gained access to faster-than-light travel. At the forefront of this new era stood Olivia Mason, now director of the Human Draknir Cooperative Research Division. The facility she oversaw combined the best minds from both species. Working together, they achieved breakthroughs that neither could have accomplished alone. Olivia walked through the research center, nodding to human and Draknir scientists alike. The once fearsome aliens had become respected colleagues. Their four-armed forms no longer seemed strange, and their bioluminescent communication patterns were now understood by most humans who worked with them. She entered the quantum propulsion lab where her friend and colleague Susan Bell, now a major in the Joint Earth Defense Force, supervised a test of new engine designs. How are the modifications coming along? Olivia asked. Susan looked up from the holographic display. Ahead of schedule. The Draknir engineering principles combined with our intuitive approach is working better than expected. We should have a functional prototype by next month. Nearby, a female Draknir engineer named Lysera adjusted controls, her patterns showing excitement. The humans had named this particular pattern the Innovation Glow Director Mason. She called out, "We have successfully integrated the quantum stabilizer with the human-designed navigation system. The efficiency has increased by 40% beyond our projections." Olivia smiled. This was why the alliance worked. The Draknir provided advanced technological frameworks, while humans found innovative ways to improve upon them. Both species benefited. Her communication device chimed with an urgent message from Admiral Nyx, who now served as the Draknir ambassador to Earth emergency meeting in the Strategic Command Center. The message read, "Urgent situation requires your presence." Olivia excused herself and hurried to the command center. The facility had been built with both human and Draknir design elements. The doors recognized her biometric signature and slid open silently inside. Admiral Nyx stood with Colonel Patricia Foster, now General Foster and leader of Earth Defense Command. They were studying a holographic display of what appeared to be an unknown spacecraft. "Olivia, thank you for coming so quickly," Nyx said, her patterns showing concern. "We have detected an unknown vessel approaching the Sol system. Its design matches no known species in Draknir." Records, General Foster nodded grimly. "Our deep space monitoring stations picked it up 3 hours ago. It's moving fast and on a direct course for Earth." Olivia studied the holographic image. The vessel was massive, dwarfing even the Celestial Hunter. Its design was organic, almost crystalline in appearance, with sections that seemed to shift and change as it moved. "Have we attempted communication?" she asked. Nyx nodded. "We have transmitted greetings in all known languages, including Draknir communication frequencies. There has been no response. The vessel appears to be scanning our defenses since the Alliance Earth had established a defensive perimeter around the solar system. Draknir technology combined with human innovations created a shield network that could detect and intercept threats. The unknown vessel had triggered multiple alerts as it approached. We should assemble the Alliance Council," Olivia suggested. "The situation affects both our species." General Foster nodded and activated the emergency protocols. Within minutes, The holographic forms of human and Draknir leaders appeared. Around the table, a joint decision-making body formed after the alliance to handle interspecies matters. Ambassador Kella of the Draknir Diplomatic Corps spoke first, her patterns showing alarm. The vessel design shares elements with legends of the Yao, Void Heralds, an ancient species believed to be extinct. They were said to consume worlds, leaving nothing behind. The human representatives exchanged concerned glances. The alliance had brought knowledge of many species throughout the galaxy, but also awareness of new threats. If these are truly the Void Heralds, then neither humans nor Draknir alone would have stood a chance against them, Nyx said. Her patterns now showed determination. But together we have created defenses beyond what either species could achieve alone. The Council discussed options as the unknown vessel continued its approach. The decision was made to send a joint delegation to attempt peaceful contact, while preparing defensive measures as a precaution. Olivia volunteered to lead the human contingent of the diplomatic mission. The joint ship Harmony represented the pinnacle of human Draknir cooperation. Its sleek design combined Draknir technology with human intuition and creativity. Olivia boarded along with a team of specialists, including Susan, who would serve as tactical officer ambassador. Kella led the Draknir contingent. Her diplomatic experience would be valuable if communication could be established with the unknown vessel. The Harmony departed Earth, orbit on an intercept course. Calculations indicated they would reach the vessel in 6 hours. As they approached, Olivia studied sensor readings. The vessel was even more massive than initially estimated. Its surface seemed alive with energy patterns that defied analysis. The Harmony maintained a safe distance and broadcast greeting messages on all frequencies. For long minutes there was no response. Then a beam of energy shot from the unknown vessel, enveloping the Harmony shields holding Susan, reported. But this isn't a weapon, it's some kind of scanning beam. They're analyzing us down to the molecular level. The beam retracted and the communication system activated. A holographic image appeared on the Harmony's bridge. The being was unlike anything they had seen before. Its form shifting between states, sometimes appearing solid, sometimes gaseous. Its voice, when it spoke, resonated from multiple sources simultaneously. "We are the collective," the being announced. "We observe you paired species. This is unexpected. Your patterns show recent conflict, yet now cooperation." Why Olivia stepped forward as the human representative. "I am Director Olivia Mason of Earth. This is Ambassador Kella of the Draknir Empire. Our species fought briefly, but discovered that alliance benefits us both. We now work together and share knowledge." The being seemed to consider this statement, its form rippling with energy. "We have observed many species throughout the galaxy. Conflict is common, alliance between former enemies is rare. The collective seeks understanding of this phenomenon." Ambassador Kella moved to stand beside Olivia, her patterns showing calm, diplomatic openness. "Our peoples recognize that our strengths complement each other," she explained. "The Draknir have advanced technology, but humans have adaptability and innovation. Together we are stronger than apart." The being shifted again, parts of its form separating, then rejoining. "The collective has existed for millions of years. We have seen species rise and fall. Most destroy themselves through conflict or stagnate in isolation. Your alliance is worthy of study." Olivia felt a chill at these words. Were they simply specimens to be examined? The being sensed her concern. "Fear is unnecessary." The collective stated, "We do not interfere. We observe, we learn. The galaxy faces threats beyond your knowledge. Your alliance may be significant in what comes." Susan moved closer to Olivia. "What threats?" she asked, her tactical mind immediately assessing potential dangers. The collective rippled again. Beyond the galaxy rim, entities approach, destructive beyond comprehension. They consume all in their path. The collective studies species, seeking those who might survive. Many have failed. Your alliance pattern is unique. Adaptation and advancement together, potentially viable. The implications were enormous. Olivia and Kella exchanged glances. Some threat so significant that this ancient and powerful species was searching the galaxy for civilizations that might withstand it. How long do we have? Olivia asked. Time is relative, the collective responded. In your measurement, perhaps 100 of your years, perhaps less. We will observe your development. If you prove worthy, further communication may occur. With that, the holographic image disappeared. The energy beam retracted. The unknown vessel altered course, moving away from the solar system at incredible speed. On the Harmony Bridge, silence fell as the implications sank in. The alliance between humans and Draknir had been formed out of necessity after conflict. Now it appeared that alliance might be the key to surviving an even greater threat. We need to report this immediately. Kella said, her patterns showing urgency. Both our peoples must. No, Olivia nodded. Still processing the information, the collective had given them a warning but also a validation. Their alliance was not just beneficial but potentially essential for survival as the Harmony returned to Earth. Olivia reflected on how far both species had come in 5 years. From mortal enemies to allies facing a common future. The humans had shared their adaptability and creative problem-solving. The Draknir had shared their advanced technology and centuries of cosmic knowledge. Together they had created something neither could have achieved alone. Now they faced a new challenge, preparing for a threat beyond their current understanding. But Olivia felt a surprising sense of optimism. If anyone could find a way to survive, it would be the combined ingenuity of humans and Draknir working as one, in the command center on Earth. General Foster and Admiral Nix received the report from the Harmony with grave expressions. The existence of the collective and its warning about an extragalactic threat would change everything. Their alliance would need to grow stronger. Their technology would need to advance faster. 20 years after the encounter with the collective Earth and the Draknir homeworld had become the center of an interstellar alliance. The warning about the extragalactic threat had been shared with other species in the galaxy. Many dismissed it as fantasy. Others joined the alliance, recognizing the benefits of cooperation. Olivia Mason, now in her 50s, stood on the observation deck of the massive space station, Unity. The greatest achievement of the alliance so far, the station served as headquarters for the combined fleet and research division. Her hair now streaked with silver, but her mind as sharp as ever. She watched ships arrive for the council meeting. A familiar voice spoke behind her. Still admiring your creation, Director. Mason. Olivia turned to see Admiral Nix. The Draknir leader had become one of her closest friends over the decades. Their initial confrontation as enemies, now a distant memory that they occasionally reminisced about. Not my creation, Olivia corrected. Our creation. This station represents what we can accomplish together. Nix's patterns showed agreement with traces of pride. The Unity station combined the best of 7 species technology, each contributing their unique strengths to create something greater than any could have built alone. The council is gathering, Nix said. We have received new information from the deep space monitors. Olivia nodded and followed Nix to the council chamber. The circular room featured sections adapted to the environmental needs of each member species. In the center, a holographic display showed the galaxy with markers indicating alliance territories. Representatives from 7 species took their places. Human and Draknir delegates sat together, their long alliance making them natural partners. The Voltar, a gaseous species that communicated through electromagnetic pulses, occupied specialized containment fields. The crystalline Nesdri, whose silicon-based biology required extreme heat, positioned themselves near thermal generators. The aquatic Marians floated in water tanks, their tentacles manipulating control interfaces. The insectoid Kallax perched on elevated platforms, their compound eyes taking in everything. The plant-like thorn representatives stood in nutrient-rich soil under specialized lighting. General Susan Bell, now the human military commander, addressed the gathering. We have detected unusual energy signatures at the galaxy rim, she reported. The pattern matches what the collective described 20 years ago. The threat is real, and it is approaching faster than predicted. The council chamber erupted in multiple languages and communication forms. The translation systems worked overtime to keep all members informed. The Voltar representative pulsed, with agitation. "How much time do we have?" The Voltar asked, their electromagnetic voice translated for all based on current trajectories, approximately 30 of your Earth years, Susan answered. "But there is more. The collective vessel has returned. They are requesting a meeting with Alliance representatives." This news silenced the chamber. The ancient observers had returned after 20 years of absence. Their timing could not be coincidence. The council voted unanimously to send representatives to meet with the collective. Olivia and Nix were selected along with delegates from each Alliance species. Their experience with the first contact made them the logical choice. The meeting would take place in neutral space at the edge of Alliance territory. The Unity Station's most advanced vessel, the Explorer, would transport the delegation. As the Explorer departed carrying the hopes of 7 civilizations, Olivia found herself reflecting on the journey that had brought them to this point. From enemies, to allies, to leaders of an interstellar coalition. The humans' adaptability and the Draknir technological knowledge had formed the foundation, but each new species brought unique perspectives and abilities. The Voltar contributed their understanding of energy manipulation. The Nezdri shared their mastery of crystalline computing. The Marians provided biological sciences beyond anything the land-dwelling species had imagined. The Calax brought their hive mind efficiency to logistics and coordination. The Thorn offered environmental engineering that transformed hostile worlds into habitable ones. Together they had accomplished in decades what might have taken centuries for any single species. But was it enough to face what was coming? The Explorer reached the designated coordinates. The collective vessel weighted a massive crystalline structure that seemed to exist partially in another dimension. Olivia led the delegation to the communication chamber, where they would meet with the ancient observers. The collective representative appeared before them, its form still shifting and changing as it had 20 years before. But now they understood this was not a single entity, but a gestalt consciousness of many beings merged into one. "You have exceeded expectations," the collective stated without preamble. 7 species in alliance where before there was conflict. Your adaptation curve is significant. Nix stepped forward, her patterns showing respectful attention. "We have prepared as best we can, but your warning suggested we have little time remaining. What can you tell us about the threat we face?" The collective rippled its form, separating and rejoining. "They are the Void-born, ancient beyond reckoning. They exist by consuming the energy of living worlds. They have stripped 3 galaxies before this one. Nothing has stopped their advance." The representatives exchanged concerned glances. This was more detailed than the collective had provided before, and more troubling. "Show us," Olivia requested. The holographic display activated, showing entities that defied comprehension. Massive beyond scale. They moved between stars, consuming energy, leaving dead worlds in their wake. The Alliance representatives watched in horror as entire solar systems were drained of life in moments. "This recording is from the galaxy you call Andromeda," the collective explained. "The Void-born finished there 2 million years ago. They travel slowly between galaxies, but once they arrive, their consumption is rapid." The Voltar representative pulsed with alarm. "How do we fight such entities? They exist on a scale beyond our weapons." The collective shifted its form again. "Direct conflict is impossible. However, we have observed your alliance. We believe your combined knowledge may offer possibility. The Draknir understanding of quantum fields, the human adaptability, the Voltar, energy manipulation, the Nezdri, crystalline computing, the Marian biological engineering, the Calax hive efficiency, the Thorn environmental transformation. Together, these technologies suggest potential." Olivia leaned forward. "What potential exactly?" The collective rippled. "The Void. Born consume energy, but energy can be channeled, diverted, altered. This galaxy has something. The others did not. Your alliance. Your combined knowledge offers possibility of survival not through resistance, but through adaptation." Understanding dawned on Olivia. They can't be fought, but they might be redirected. Their feeding might be guided. Collective confirmed your understanding is correct. Director Mason the Void-born. Follow energy patterns. Your combined technologies could create channels, pathways that direct their consumption away from inhabited worlds. It was a plan not to defeat the incomprehensible entities but to survive them by guiding their path through the galaxy, minimizing the destruction. An elegant solution that required the combined knowledge of all Alliance species. We will need to expand the Alliance. Nick said, immediately more species, more knowledge increases our chances. The collective rippled in what might have been approval. We will provide data to assist your preparations. The next 3 decades will determine the survival of all life in this galaxy. We have observed many civilizations. None have succeeded where the Void-born are concerned. Your alliance represents the first potential success. As the explorer returned to Unity Station, Olivia worked with the Alliance representatives to develop their strategy. The collective had provided detailed information about the Void-born, their movement patterns and energy consumption. This knowledge would be essential in creating the diversion technology. On Unity Station, the Alliance Council convened. In emergency session, the evidence from the collective was presented along with the proposed strategy. Teams were formed drawing experts from all 7 species. The largest cooperative scientific and engineering project in galactic history was underway. Olivia found herself leading the central coordination team. Her decades of experience working across species made her uniquely qualified. 20 years earlier, she had been an engineer facing alien invaders. Now she coordinated the efforts of 7 civilizations against an existential threat. The work would take decades. The technology required to channel the energy pathways of an entire galaxy existed only in theory. But with 7 species working together, sharing knowledge and resources, progress was rapid. Nix joined Olivia on the observation deck of Unity Station 5 years into the project. The first prototype energy channeling stations were being deployed at the galaxy rim. We have come far. My friend Nix said, her patterns showing a complex mixture of pride, concern, and hope. When my ship entered Earth orbit 30 years ago, I expected a simple conquest. Instead, I found worthy allies. Olivia smiled at the memory. The invasion that failed had led to something far greater than either of them could have imagined. The Draknir Empire would have fallen to the Void-born without warning. She said our worlds would have been consumed without understanding why Earth would have faced the same fate alone. But together, we have a chance. The massive alien warship Celestial Hunter appeared in Earth orbit. Without warning, its dark hull absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Inside the command center, Admiral Nix of the Draknir Empire stood with her forearms crossed, her scaled skin shimmering with bioluminescent patterns that showed her excitement. The Draknir had conquered 17 star systems before discovering Earth. Their technology was centuries beyond human capabilities, and Admiral Nix expected this conquest to be simple. The reports from scout ships indicated the humans were physically weaker than Draknir, with no natural weapons, no exoskeletons, and primitive space vessels. Prepare the first wave assault. Nix ordered, her voice a melodic hiss that echoed through the command chamber. We will begin with their largest military installation to demonstrate our power. The tactical officer Vex brought up a holographic display showing a human military base in a region the humans called Nevada. The base housed experimental fighter craft and weapon systems that were the pinnacle of human technology, but laughably primitive to Draknir standards. The first wave will consist of 200 elite warriors. Admiral Vex confirmed, each equipped with personal shield technology and plasma weapons. The humans have no defense against our technology. Nix nodded her elongated head. The conquest would bring her great honor among the imperial houses of Draknir. Her name would be sung in victory chants for generations. The dropships launched from the Celestial Hunter, streaking through Earth atmosphere like falling stars. Their stealth technology made them invisible to human radar and infrared detection systems. The element of surprise was complete. On the ground at Groom Lake Air Force Base, Lieutenant Olivia Mason worked late in the experimental aircraft hangar, her dark brown hair pulled back in a practical ponytail as she examined engine components for the new hypersonic prototype. The warning klaxons caught her by surprise. Unknown objects entering restricted airspace, the automated system announced all personnel to battle stations. This is not a drill. Olivia grabbed her sidearm and communication device as she ran toward the command center. Outside, the night sky lit up with streaks of blue fire as the alien dropships deactivated their stealth fields and began landing. Colonel Patricia Foster stood in the command center, her face illuminated by emergency lighting as she assessed the situation. Have multiple craft of unknown origin landing along the perimeter, she announced to the gathered officers. Initial scans show technology unlike anything we've encountered. How many? Olivia asked, joining the group. Too many, Patricia replied grimly. Satellite. Communication is jammed and we've lost contact with the Pentagon. Her eyes met Olivia's. We need to buy time. The first explosion rocked the building as alien weapons fire struck the outer defenses. Olivia stumbled, then regained her footing. Patricia turned to the assembled personnel. We evacuate all non-essential staff through the emergency tunnels. Defense teams will create a diversion security protocol. Omega is now in effect. Olivia knew what that meant. Protocol. Omega was the contingency plan for first contact with hostile forces. It prioritized information security over base defense. The experimental technology in the hangars could not be allowed to fall into enemy hands. Patricia looked at Olivia. I need you to reach Hangar 7. The prototype must be destroyed. Olivia nodded, understanding the gravity of the mission. The prototype aircraft in Hangar 7 contained experimental quantum technology that could revolutionize human space travel. If hostile aliens captured it, the consequences would be devastating. Outside the command center, chaos reigned as Draknir warriors emerged from their dropships. The aliens stood over 7 feet tall with 4 arms and reptilian features. Their armor seemed to absorb weapons fire without damage. As they advanced methodically across the base, human security forces fought desperately, but their bullets did little against the alien shields. The Draknir moved with terrifying speed and precision, their weapons firing bursts of plasma that melted through concrete and metal. Olivia made her way through underground tunnels, moving toward Hangar 7. The sounds of battle echoed through the ventilation systems. Occasionally, the tunnel shook as explosions rocked the surface when she emerged near Hangar 7. Olivia encountered her first Draknir warrior. The alien turned, sensing her presence. Its elongated face featured 4 glowing eyes and a mouth filled with needle-like teeth. Olivia fired her sidearm, the bullets sparking harmlessly against the creature's shield. The Draknir tilted its head almost curiously before raising its weapon. Olivia dove behind a concrete barrier as plasma fire melted the spot where she had stood. She needed a new strategy. Conventional weapons were useless. Her eyes fell on a maintenance panel nearby, the base power distribution system. If she could create a power surge, it might disrupt the alien shield technology. It was a desperate plan, but she had no alternatives. The Draknir advanced cautiously, sensing a trap but confident in its technological superiority. Olivia waited until the alien was positioned between her and the power junction. Then she fired at the exposed electrical conduits. The effect was instantaneous. Electricity arced through the air. The Draknir shield flickered, then failed as the alien screamed in pain. Olivia fired again, this time her bullets finding their mark. The alien fell, its dark blood pooling on the concrete floor. Olivia grabbed the alien weapon, examining it briefly, before figuring out the trigger mechanism. She continued toward Hangar 7, now armed with technology that could actually hurt the invaders. Inside, the Celestial Hunter Admiral Nix watched the battle unfold with growing concern. The humans were adapting more quickly than anticipated. Their primitive weapons were ineffective, but they were finding creative ways to bypass Draknir shields. Several warriors had already fallen. Vex approached with hesitation. Great Admiral, the humans are not behaving. As predicted, they are prioritizing destruction of their own technology over their lives. This is unusual behavior for a conquest species, Nix hissed in frustration. They understand the value of keeping technology from our hands. Perhaps they are not as primitive as we thought. Send in the second wave. Focus on capturing their command personnel. We need to understand their defense strategies on the ground. Olivia reached Hangar 7. The massive doors were sealed, but her security clearance granted her access. Inside the experimental aircraft sat on the runway, its sleek design unlike any conventional human aircraft. As Olivia prepared the self-destruct sequence, she heard movement behind her. Turning, she found herself facing 3 Draknir warriors, their weapons trained on her. "Surrender, human," one of them commanded in accented English. "Your resistance is futile." Olivia slowly raised her hands, appearing to comply, but her mind raced, calculating options. The destruction of the prototype was more important than her survival. What the Draknir didn't know was that Olivia Mason was not just a lieutenant. She was the lead engineer who had designed the quantum drive at the heart of the prototype, and she had built in fail-safes that only she could activate. The 3 Draknir warriors surrounded Olivia, their scaled skin glowing with patterns that communicated their confidence. The lead warrior stepped forward, examining her with 4 glowing eyes. "This one has authority markings on her uniform," it said. To the others, "The intelligence unit will want to extract information from her." Olivia maintained her calm exterior while her mind worked through possibilities. The prototype aircraft behind her contained technology that could change the course of human history. She would not let it fall into alien hands. The lead Draknir reached for her with one of its forearms. Olivia reacted with trained precision, striking at the breathing apparatus at the base of the alien's neck. The Draknir stumbled back, surprised by the speed and accuracy of her attack. The other warriors raised their weapons but hesitated, fearing they might damage the prototype aircraft behind her. Olivia used this moment of hesitation to her advantage. She pressed a sequence of buttons on her wrist device, activating the voice command system of the prototype system. "Override Mason Alpha Tango," she called out. "Emergency Protocol 7. The aircraft hummed to life, its systems engaging without pilot input. The quantum drive began to power up, creating a field of distorted space around the prototype. "What have you done?" the lead Draknir demanded, recovering from the strike. Olivia smiled grimly. "You have about 30 seconds to clear the hangar before the quantum field expands. The results will be unpleasant for anyone caught in it." The Draknir warriors looked at each other, uncertainty in their glowing eyes. The prototype was emitting energy signatures unlike anything in their experience. The lead warrior made a decision: capture her alive and evacuate it, ordered. One of the warriors lunged for Olivia, but she was already moving, sliding under the prototype aircraft and emerging on the other side. 20 seconds, she called out as she ran for the emergency exit. "The quantum field will destabilize any matter within 50 meters. The Draknir abandoned their pursuit, racing for the hangar doors, as the quantum field began to visibly distort the air. The lead warrior activated its communication device. "Admiral, the human has activated some kind of defensive system. We must abort retrieval." Inside the Celestial Hunter, Admiral Nix received the warning with growing concern. The battle was not proceeding as planned. Human resistance was fiercer than expected, and now they were sacrificing valuable technology to prevent capture on the ground. Olivia cleared the hangar and dove behind a concrete barrier as the quantum drive reached critical mass. The explosion was unlike any conventional weapon. A sphere of distorted space expanded outward, consuming the prototype and the entire hangar before collapsing in on itself. The implosion created a shock wave that knocked Olivia flat, despite her cover. When she regained her footing, Olivia saw that where Hangar 7 had stood there was now only a perfect hemisphere carved out of the ground, as if a giant ice cream scoop had removed the structure and everything in it. The prototype was gone, and with it any technology the Draknir might have captured. Throughout the base, other engineers and scientists were making similar decisions, destroying research and technology rather than allowing it to be captured. Several teams had activated self-destruct protocols in laboratories and testing facilities. Colonel Patricia Foster coordinated the resistance from a mobile command post, her calm voice directing teams to strategic locations. Despite overwhelming odds, the humans were causing significant problems for the Draknir invaders in orbit. Admiral Nix watched with growing frustration as reports came in from the surface. The humans were not behaving like any species the Draknir had conquered before. Instead of trying to preserve their lives and infrastructure, they were systematically destroying valuable technology and engaging in suicide attacks against superior forces, Admiral. They appear to be sacrificing themselves to inflict maximum damage. Vex reported with disbelief. A group of humans just detonated explosives in their main research facility, killing themselves and 30 of our warriors. Nyx paced the command center, her bioluminescent patterns flashing with agitation. This was not how conquests were supposed to proceed. The Draknir relied on capturing and adapting the technology of conquered species. Each conquest made them stronger, but these humans were leaving nothing of value on the surface. Olivia regrouped with other survivors near an underground bunker. Major Susan Bell, a weapons specialist, was organizing a counterattack. The aliens have advanced technology, but their tactics are predictable, Susan explained to the gathered soldiers. They rely too heavily on their shields and have become complacent. Once the shields are down, they are vulnerable. Olivia shared her discovery about the electrical surge disrupting the alien shields. Several engineers in the group immediately began modifying available equipment to generate electromagnetic pulses. Susan looked at the assembled group. "We need to capture one of their ships," she said, studying a tactical display. The dropships appear to be operated by minimal crews while warriors are deployed. If we can seize one, we might be able to use it against the mothership. It was a desperate plan, but no one had better ideas. The remaining human forces divided into teams, each with specific objectives. Olivia's engineering expertise placed her on the team, targeting a Draknir dropship. As night fell over the desert, the human counterattack began. Small teams struck at Draknir positions, using modified equipment to disrupt shields before attacking with conventional weapons. The aliens responded with increasing brutality, but found themselves facing an enemy that seemed to have no fear of death. Olivia's team approached a landed drop ship under cover of darkness. The alien craft was guarded by 4 Draknir warriors, their shields glowing faintly in the darkness. The humans deployed modified power generators, creating a surge that rippled through the area. The Draknir shields flickered and failed. Susan led the attack team forward with Olivia and the engineers close behind. The battle was brief but violent. The humans suffered casualties but managed to neutralize the guards. Olivia raced up the ramp into the dropship with 2 other engineers. The alien technology was unlike anything they had seen, but the basic principles of spacecraft remained similar. They needed propulsion control, navigation, and weapons. "Give me 10 minutes, Olivia told Susan, who stood guard at the entrance. "I can figure out the basic controls." Inside the Celestial Hunter, Admiral Nyx received alarming news. "Admiral, one of our dropships has been compromised." Vex reported, "The humans have seized control and are powering up its systems. Impossible." Nyx hissed, "No primitive species could operate Draknir technology without training." Nevertheless, the dropship was rising from the surface, its weapon systems coming online. Nyx made a quick decision. "Target that ship and destroy it," she ordered. "We cannot allow them to reverse engineer our technology." The Celestial Hunter turned its main weapons toward the rising dropship green energy building at the focal points of massive cannons. In the captured ship, Olivia worked frantically to understand the alien navigation systems. Susan looked over her shoulder. "We have incoming," she warned. "The mothership is targeting us." Olivia nodded, not looking up from the alien controls. "I see it. The weapons on this ship are no match for that warship, but we might be able to do some damage before they destroy us." The dropship accelerated toward the Celestial Hunter, its smaller weapons firing. Susan looked at Olivia with newfound respect. "You know this is a one-way trip," she said. Olivia nodded as she pushed the alien engines beyond their safety limits. "Sometimes you have to sacrifice to protect what matters." The stolen dropship streaked toward the Celestial Hunter, evading the first volley from the warship's weapons. Olivia had discovered that the alien craft was more maneuverable than it appeared. The Draknir had not expected humans to master their technology so quickly. On the Celestial Hunter, Admiral Nyx watched with disbelief as the stolen ship executed evasion maneuvers that should have been impossible. "For novice pilots, they learn too quickly," she murmured. Her bioluminescent patterns showed fear for the first time.